If it means saving the immortal soul of his best friend and mentor, will Matt Murdock be willing to risk it all? Well, let's hop into the pages of Daredevil issue number 13 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Daredevil the White had descended into the bowels of hell to have one final confrontation with the Beast, as well as save the souls of Foggy, Nelson, and Stick. The deeper Daredevil goes, the more the demons of this place start to mess with him, taking the form of Karen, his lost love, Mila, his ex-wife who took her own life, and even his brother Mike Murdock, who has been out of the story just long enough for me to forget about him. Matt's not alone in this endeavor either, as he's actually joined by the ghost of his father, Batlin Jack Murdock, who says, "Hey, you're a boxer, boy, you know a faint punch when you're seeing it. Obviously your friends and loved ones aren't here in hell. They lived good lives and got to go to heaven. This is just the demons of this realm screwing with you," and screw with him they do. Jack and Daredevil do battle against the hordes of hell for hours, maybe even days, all to reach the lair of the Beast. No matter what hell throws at him, though, Matt is as resolute as ever, saying that he has the power of God by his side. Yes, that's right, God in anime. Well, okay, I made up that second part, but he does fight with some katanas later, so, you know, you be the judge. Eventually, Daredevil and Jack do find the cell where Stick and Foggy are being held captive. It's a truly heartfelt reunion where Foggy says that he never gave up hope that Matt would find him, because he always does. And in Matt's own internal monologue, he once again talks about how much God has been testing him since this series began, that sometimes he does feel like a puppet on a string meant only to suffer, but sometimes, though, good things do happen to him. He does save the day he is allowed to be a hero, and those days end up making it all worthwhile. Though, you know what? Keep Matt's own relationship to God in the back of your mind, because it's going to become very important in the next couple seconds. Obviously, the Beast isn't going to allow his most hated enemy, Daredevil, the one who cast him back into the flames, to just waltz out of hell, right? And as such, he makes plans to stop him. Here's the thing, though, the Beast actually ends up getting cold-cocked by another giant demon who ends up joining the fray, a female creature who we discover is actually the Beast's sister, known as the Wild. And much like the Beast is the patron saint of the Hand on Earth, the Wild also has her own group of followers, and they're called, well, I probably don't have to tell you, the Fist. Which of course means that all this time when Matt thought that he was being tested by God, that he was feeling God on his shoulder, reading from the book of prophecy that the Fist had, that wasn't actually the Judeo-Christian God, that was the Wild. Meaning that this whole time Matt has actually just been a pawn in a giant battle between two demonic siblings. Obviously, Daredevil feels pretty damn low right about now. He's been tricked, he's been toyed with. He probably should have known from the very beginning that the Book of the Fist couldn't possibly have come from God. After all, what kind of loving God would stoke the fires of Daredevil and Elektra's own violence and aggression like they did? Matt is devastated, make no mistake, but he doesn't actually let it keep him down for long. After all, he came here with a mission. He came here with a job to do, to save those he loves. And really, for Daredevil, that ends up being the biggest takeaway from all of this. They say God is love, and really, Daredevil, as far as he's concerned, has been doing the will of love this whole time. For the love of his dead father, for the love of his best friend Foggy, for his mentor Stick, and for his wife Elektra. And it's that very same primal love that allows Daredevil to rip the cell door off where Foggy and the others are being held. Daredevil and his friends get ready to make trails out of hell, but it's at that very moment the Wild ends up speaking up again, saying that Daredevil was her most devout follower, but he was not the only follower. Implying that if Matt leaves now, the Wild is just going to go after Elektra, meaning that Daredevil has no choice but to stay behind and make sure his friends are safe. And to do this, he ends up calling a brand new power we've never seen before. He makes the sign of the cross with his batons before eventually pulling blades of pure white energy out from his very horns. See what I mean about this being anime? It's after that a massive three-way battle is had between the Wild, the Beast, and Daredevil himself. Matt fights valiantly, but unfortunately he is in the demonic realm right now, meaning the Beast is much stronger than he would be anywhere else. In fact, Matt ends up losing a frickin' arm in the fight itself. Geez, Zdarsky, first he takes Batman's arm, now he takes Daredevil's arm. Not that Matt really seems to care so much, he already sacrificed his eyes, what's losing an arm along the way too. It's all worth it if Foggy and the others can escape, and indeed, they do escape. They make it back to Blind Spot, only for Matt himself to vanish into nothingness as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Daredevil issue number 13, everybody, the penultimate issue in this Chip Zdarsky series, and I gotta say, they really did pull out all the stops here for the big finale. I'm almost kind of in awe about how seamlessly Zdarsky is able to pull off the twist he does here. No, Matt Murdock hasn't been messed with by God this whole time, it was a demon who did it. In the hands of a lesser writer, that could come off as really anticlimactic and really disappointing, but when Zdarsky does it here, it's kind of a big yeah, no duh moment. It also allows Matt himself to really examine his own relationship to God and his own actions and the choices he's been making all series long, and come to the realization that even without God, Matt is still a good person and still a hero and still a person who would literally give his right arm if it means saving his friends, and indeed he did in this issue. As we now head into the endgame too, I wonder how Zdarsky is going to end up tying all of this up. There's still one or two still hanging plot threads, and we all know, even though the implication is that Daredevil died quote unquote in this issue, he's going to be back for a new #1 soon anyway. My money is on them using that magic wishing rock that they put in Mike's grave in some capacity, but you know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Overall, I would give this one another positive 9 out of 10. This whole series has just been a tour de force that continues to please and surprise even as we head to the end.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me and the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.